How do you feel, given you've got a nearly 14,000 majority?
I guess elated, stunned, a little bit knackered, all of those three things, but it's an amazing feeling, and I'm eternally grateful to the people of Ealing, Acton and Chiswick for putting their faith in me twice in 2 years now, and on such a big scale this time round.
At what point did you realise you were going to win and win well?
I mean, I'm always one of those people that's cautiously optimistic rather than quietly confident. So, I didn't ever take this for granted. And given that the polls were showing that they had a 20-point lead, and historically, usually polls underestimate the right. So things like Trump, Brexit, the 2015 election I stood in, Ed Miliband was supposed to win that one. 1992, that was supposed to be Neil Kinnock. I kind of thought things would be worse than they looked. Even when the polls were narrowing, I never in my wildest dreams imagined this. And I think it was on the night itself that I actually had been on the go since the wee hours. So at 10 I thought I'd go home, change my clothes, but people in the town hall were phoning saying it's looking like it will be big, get back here. So I did.
What do you think made the difference?
I guess it was a combination of factors. I think there is something of the Brenda from Bristol in everyone, that the public didn't like the way that this was done, the arrogance and the presumption that she could just flatten all opposition, and she was doing it purely as a power grab, but spectacularly backfired. So I was meeting former Conservatives who'd never voted Labour in their lives, who were saying, I don't want to give her a too big majority. And also Chiswick, the Southfield ward, is the bit of my constituency that was the most Remain. Overall it was 72-28, but I think round here it was even more, 80-20 or something. And so it was a big two fingers up at that, in part. It was also, London Labour, Ealing Labour, we have a far superior operation to any of the other parties, so we had actual people, including myself. We always say of the Tories, they have money, we have people. So it was our people, including myself. I went with Keir Starmer to doors in Chiswick, knocking on doors, persuading, cajoling. Often there was no persuasion needed, because also the thing we had this time that we didn't last time is incumbency. So people who have interacted with my office, and that's 17,500 individual bits of casework that we've processed. People who've had dealings with me were very positive.
There had to be a big personal effect, because amongst other things, you went and did a hustings 2 days after your mother's funeral, and people, I think, are impressed by that.
Thank you. It was a difficult campaign because we lost my mum. It'll be 3 weeks ago tomorrow. It's Sunday the 21st. So, again, when that kind of thing happens, grief and emotions running all around. But she was the kind of person who would have said, don't mope around, or, just get on with it, woman. So that's what I did.
You were one of the people, of course, who nominated Jeremy Corbyn, and you've taken some flack for that, but how does that leave you now? Are you hopeful that you might perhaps get a shadow cabinet position?
I did nominate Jeremy Corbyn, and so did loads of other people, or he wouldn't be on the ballot paper 2 years ago, including Margaret Beckett, Frank Field, lots of older, wiser people than me, my late friend and colleague Jo Cox. So, we did that in the interest of democracy, of having an actual contest rather than three people that were saying the same thing. I don't know what he'll do with his team now. I actually did serve as one of the shadow Home Office team briefly at the end. Actually, not that briefly, from September until the dissolution in April. And it was good fun. It's very different doing it from the front bench. The sense of perspective is, you're looking right up the nostrils of Amber Rudd in my case.
Given the height difference, I can see that, yes.
Yeah. So, and it was good fun. Lots of legislation to sink my teeth into. I don't know what's around the corner. I can't see beyond tomorrow.
So we now have a government that is reliant on a group of people, one of whom is a creationist, another doesn't believe in climate change, none of them are pro-choice over abortion, and none of them are pro-gay marriage either. So those are the people who we're now reliant on. What, as a party, are you going to be able to do in power once you're back in Parliament?
I think it will make Parliament a lot more interesting, because every vote will count and the whipping system will really come into force. But you're right, I've just done a meeting in Ealing Broadway with businesses, and there are people there saying that they got out of Northern Ireland to get away from people like that. She's a bit desperate now, and she's massively damaged. The whole election that was done to gain power has spectacularly backfired, and once again we have a Conservative Prime Minister who's put party before country. I mean, I think her position's probably not tenable for a lot longer.